Yeah, and to piggyback off of what Ben said, I like to think of myself as a techno optimist, right? So I'm gonna go for the. Whenever I look at your questions, what I'd like to talk about are like, what are the pros in how maybe this time it's a little bit different than the dot com bubble of '99 and early 2000s, right? One thing that aligns pretty directly with what Ben just said is AI is so innovative that it is constantly in competition with itself. When ChatGPT 4 and ChatGPT 4 Omni came out, and Claude 3 and all these competitive models came out, a lot of AI wrapper companies just got destroyed because the newer models could just do what these AI wrapper companies were trying to solve to do. And I think that creative destruction is actually healthy. That may, Kip was alluding to, lead to a polarity between who has dominant market control. But overall, I think that this bubble that bursts and like rips down the economy is, I think, at least a little bit inhibited based on this creative destruction and true meritocratic competition that's happening with AI. The second thing that has me a little bit more optimistic that this isn't going to be like a Y2K like bubble bursting event is where the capital is actually flowing to. And I'm honestly pretty young, but as I can recall, whenever this did happen, almost all of the bubble bursting happened on the Nasdaq. Like it was public companies that were IPOing. There was a ton of websites that basically .com companies that went public, and that access to private capital and everything that you can do as a public company and all of the speculation that anyone in the world was able to put into these stocks because the New York Stock Exchange is available to everyone, is a lot more accessible, allowed that bubble to burst as hard as it did. A lot of the AI money that's flowing in is happening, whether people like to admit it or not, privately. So VC rounds are getting overinflated. A rounds, B rounds, and C rounds are getting as big as we've ever seen it. But because private capital is where most of the bubble is forming, that probably means whenever these companies do go public, they're going to be marked to market and probably suffer a huge decrease in valuation, thus making the market more stable and not having this huge economic global financial crisis event. So I'm actually optimistic on things. And I think just the nature of AI is actually an inhibitor towards this like market crash that people may be expecting.